You may have noticed that I really enjoy mushroom hunting. And since moving to the Pacific Northwest, it has been a lot of fun. Especially compared to when we lived in Arizona, where I had very little luck. However, growing edible mushrooms there went surprisingly well. Since moving to this much kinder climate, I am excited to try again, and I have so many different ideas to test. For one, after our oak was cut down, we have heaps of sawdust, logs, and rounds. I don't have the right kind of spawn for a mushroom bed right now, but I wanted to go ahead and gather up that sawdust and move it to where I want it. As it is summer, it is also the wrong time of year for log plugs. So I'll have to revisit that later on too. The method that could work right now is a bucket grow. The medium I am using is chopped straw. Technically you should sterilize this medium, but I am a lazy person, so I just went straight to the overnight soak, and we're just gonna hope for the best. Maybe the liner was not a great idea. Before we load it up, this bucket is gonna need some holes. So I've seen alternately 1/2 inch bits somebody uses. Somebody else said 1/4 inch. I'm just gonna go with 1/2 inch. Alright, now I'm gonna put some little ones on the bottom for drainage. That'll probably do. Load her up. So this is the spawn I got from North Spore, and I believe it is, yeah, sawdust spawn. So now we're just gonna put some straw in there and a little of this and just make a little lasagna. Check it out. Look at that happy fungus in there. Now the straw is supposed to have a very specific amount of moisture, which you can measure with a device. Its name I can't recall right now, but I don't have that. I'm just going with it's wet, but it's not sopping. So that's my measurement. I don't know if that's right or not. Just get your hands in there. Crumble it up. All right, so man, that took more than a 5-gallon bucket of straw, but I think that'll be good enough. Now we gotta cover it put it away. Let it incubate. Now it just needs a cool and shady spot. All right. I'm gonna put it in this closet in the garage for now. It's currently 75 degrees. It's kind of I think it's like the upper end of where it should be, but I believe after today it's gonna cool off. So we'll just, if it gets too hot, I'll take it in the house. In the meantime, nighty night. You gonna come help? Come on. Pick us a good spot. Even though I put a lot of spawn in the bucket, I had loads left over, which I just sprinkled about to see if it would spontaneously take anywhere. Sump pump drains or two. Spoiler, none of these locations work. Again, why not? I would have been better off just making 2 or 3 buckets. All right, it is Sunday, June 1st, and there is the slightest little bits of mycelium appearing. A little spot there. I think that's it. A little maybe here, and a little bit right there. So something is happening. Also, in case you haven't noticed, I moved it back here to the compost heap, garbage heap that was here because, silly me, a bunch of straw juice came out of the bottom into the closet I had stored all over my fridge. North Spore had also sent me some fruiting blocks, and they told me that people have had luck just sort of plopping them into their garden beds. So I gave that a whirl. I couldn't find any directions on that method, so I just winged it. So technically tomorrow is 2 weeks, and I was gonna move the bucket then. There's a lot of, oh gosh, really good mycelium growth in there. Hi, Chuckles. But it's been, past 3 days, it's been over 90 degrees. It's been pretty warm, and we have growth happening. So, though it seems quite happy here, I think I'm gonna move it over to its warmer spot, because it's also, I think it's gonna cap out at like 82 degrees today, so should be all right. Come on, guys. As for the other spawn that I sort of just sprinkled everywhere, I haven't seen any activity, no mycelium or anything. It's been pretty hot and kind of dry, so keeping it moist has been a struggle. Also of note, if you choose not to sterilize your straw, you could likely get grass. I thought that sterilization was to fight off any competing fungi, which it might be, or bacteria, but maybe it's also to kill the grass seed. Okay, so I put the bucket over here on Tuesday, and today is Thursday, and look at how much growth has happened already. Doug. So you want cat hair on my mushrooms. Anyway, I love this stage because it seems like they grow like an inch a day or something crazy. I think that was the first one back here. Come over here. Yeah, he rubbed against this one. No. All the people who like a sterile environment are freaking out right now. It looks actually a little dry. I think I'm gonna hose down this area. Saturday the 14th. All right. All right, it is Monday, June 16th. Let's have a look at our shrooms. Oh, yeah. Looking good. I'm going to say that this cluster is about ready to harvest. Don't want to let them get too far along. I'm also noticing something has been munching on these guys. And I don't know if that is bird or squirrel. I think squirrel. We do have some squirrels here, and I have seen them eating the mushrooms that pop up in the yard. Probably squirrels. Thus, the strawberry netting. That looks like maybe slug. And some started to pin and then just kind of pooped out. So I don't know why they quit, but they did. So we got another one on the back. Oh, two more on the back. So yeah, looking pretty good. This guy's. I think I'm gonna pick those today. Yeah, here's another one that started to pin and then it stopped. So I don't know. Maybe it got too dry. Maybe it got too hot. Let's see inside. I put this here to keep the handle from flopping. It lands right on the mushrooms. Oh yeah, good crop of grass. Again, I guess that's my fault for not sterilizing, but mycelium still going strong. You better stay out of there. He likes to sleep in the strawberry tunnel. It is the 16th, and did some digging around. And yeah, I've got, this is the Italian oyster. There's still some mycelium kicking around over here, at least on this edge. But not much else happening. Anyhow, I took any of the dirt off. I don't think it needed the dirt on it. I'm just keeping the little moist straw. And this one is the Black King. And that was the one closest to the surface. It still has some mycelium in it, but it's looking a little dried out. I have cherries everywhere. Also, it gets shadier. This is the sunniest part, and it gets shadier this way. And so this area is pretty much in shade all day. And underneath, I moved the straw away, but the lion's mane is showing a little bit of activity. Yeah. So there's a bunch here, and then there's a little one right here. So that's kind of exciting. So I took pieces of those fruiting blocks and I just put them in some random containers. So this is the Italian oyster in the little teeny Lowe's bucket. This is the Black King in here under the cake container. And then the lion's mane I crammed into this broken log. And I think I'm going to loosely tent it in some plastic and see if anything happens. I did see that the lion's mane is trying to make an effort again. Bucket has not gotten a second flush yet. The mycelium is still very much alive in there, but I'm not seeing any activity. The slugs have also discovered the bucket. I've been seeing some trails, let's say some residue around some of the openings. So maybe they're eating it before they come out, but it is alive in there. That might be pinning right there. Hold on. No, just wishful thinking. Yeah, there's definitely mycelium in there. And the top is, yeah, see, it's still very much alive in there. So you can see the middle of the fruiting blocks. Still plenty of mycelium happening in there. Just having some trouble popping through. July 11th, and yeah, we started getting a second flush on the golden oysters. Pretty sure it started pinning here yesterday or the day before. But I think a squirrel came down and just nibbled it right off the end. So yeah, I don't know if it's gonna keep trying or not. I'm just gonna turn it this way. It was more that way. The log, slugs still. I had salted, I had tried whatever, but anytime this lion's mane tries to do anything, it just slugs. Slugs, slugs, slugs. These two that I covered, last I checked, nothing going on with the Black King, but I see on the Italian oyster I'm getting beginnings of some pinning down there. And yeah, I've just been, there's a little water in the bottom and then I just keep them covered in plastic. So we'll see what happens. Actually, finally seeing some signs of life from, I think this one's Italian oyster and Black King. But every time I get any growth, the slugs get them. So I'm choosing violence. Sorry, guys. All right, it is August 7th. Time for a mushroom update. Looky there. Yeah, I moved it into the breezeway to protect it from slugs and squirrels. And we got a little flush right there, just the one, I think. But yeah, I thought it was done, but nope. Yeah, just that one guy. But still, nice surprise. How bud? And in the garden beds, I've kind of given up on these guys, but they're still trying. I've had to implement some protection, again, slugs and squirrels. So I had this on the Italian oyster and it outgrew it. So looking pretty good. Actually, I should probably pick this one. Still nothing from Black King. It has not even tried, but lion's mane, I believe, started a little bit. I think this was me putting the pot on it. Kind of smushed this one a little bit. But yeah, we're getting a little bit of lion's mane out of this block. These container experiments haven't really gone anywhere. Black King hasn't started anything. No, nothing in there. This is the lion's mane. It's a little hard to keep moist, so I'm not surprised it hasn't done anything. The little bucket I moved indoors, and it started it started to pin, and let's see, Douglas. Yeah, it kind of petered out, but yeah, they got maybe an inch tall and then ceased. What was wild is that they, if I can get it out, they were coming out of the bottom too. But yeah, they have since stopped. You can see they're kind of dried up right here, but they were coming out all over. But so this one was didn't really work out. I know it's possible, I just wasn't able to do it. See, it is August 9th, and I'm gonna say this guy is ready for harvest. I let it go a little longer than the previous crops, and yeah, that guy is eating size. Well, looks like that's the end of that.